Some nights I stay up, cashing in my bad luck. Some nights I call it a draw. Some nights I wish that my lips could build a castle. Some nights I wish they'd just fall off. But I still wake up, I still see your gospel. Lord, I'm still not sure what I stand for. Oh, what do I stand for? What do I stand for?
Friendship.
Ruach.
Achim.
Connections.
Involvement.
Friendship.
Synagogue.
Opportunity.
Camaraderie.
Fellowship.
Camaraderie.
Pride.
Service.
And I will tell you that the most powerful moment I ever experienced during a worldwide rap was when, after learning how to put on his tefillin, a young man showed his father how to put on tefillin. And to me, that was a beautiful teaching moment, the younger generation teaching the older generation. And it's something that the FJMC helped make happen.
That was easy. My best memory of the men's club experience is winning the Masim Tovim award. It's been very inspiring to me, and it's given me a lot of joy, something I will cherish for a very long time. And I'm very proud to be a winner of the Masim Tovim award for this year, and I hope I can continue to represent the men's clubs in our synagogue in our region in a way that led me to this award.
My best brotherhood memory experience actually was back in the early 2000s, 2002, 2003, when we actually purchased a Sefer Haftarah. And it was a lot of work, and it included a lot of people, and we raised a lot of money for the synagogue. It also, what we did with the Sefer Haftarah is we dedicated to the children of the Shoah. And that meant a lot to a lot of the older members in our shul who were Holocaust survivors. And it was a very, very successful program. And it's read every Shabbos.
How and why I first became a men's club, the first question is how, and it's simple. Someone asked me. I had joined a synagogue in the early 1980s. A sukkah was being put up and somebody said, come on, join in and help out. And I love to help, I love to participate, it was fun. So I joined.
When I first became involved in the men's club, I didn't know how to read Hebrew. I was raised as a very Reform Jew, had no formal Hebrew training, Hebrew language skills as a young kid growing up. I was never bar mitzvahed at the age of 13, and joining a men's club sort of was the impetus to getting more involved in my synagogue community. Was the impetus for me to learn Hebrew as an adult, to participate in an adult bar mitzvah program at our temple. And if it wasn't for the men's club, I'm not sure that would have ever happened.
The first thing I would tell a synagogue member why to join a men's club is the thing to do. You should be part of a group which is 1/3 of the conservative movement, the men, and it's the only place men have a chance to express their views and say what they think and have their input for the present and the future of conservative Judaism.
You meet people that these gentlemen will become friends for life, and that's something that I've experienced with Men's Club, and I would highly suggest that you join and see what you can get out of it. An organization like Men's Club is something in my mind that you get out what you put in.
The things that make me most proud of our men's club are the contributions they've had to Hebrew literacy. Running the FJMC Hebrew literacy program has helped so many people in our synagogue to become familiar with and comfortable with the Hebrew in the Siddur.
There have even been people who have taken classes 4 or 5 times before and were unable to learn, and I think that's quite an accomplishment both on their part and on ours.
The impact of my father Louis and my brother Stan were the key to my becoming involved in Men's Club. Both were past presidents of Adat Jeshurun Men's Association. My father attended the first FJMC Layman's Institute at the Jewish Theological Seminary in 1946. While we always had a kosher home, our post-institute's family life was never quite the same. Dad went to daily minyan, mealtime prayers were said, and he set daily examples of Jewish living for his family.
I was always involved in our synagogue. My first wife passed away in 1978. I was saying Kaddish with a friend of somebody I became friends with, Stuart Silverman, who was very active in the men's club in the Michigan area, and I think nationally too. He was saying Kaddish for his wife, who had passed away about a week before my wife did. And we started talking, spent a year together at services morning and night. And he said, come on in, let's see who we can meet. We'll get you working on it. And I joined, and all these years later, I'm still involved.
I just want to thank the Federated Jewish Men's Club for giving me this honor. You know, it's very special to me. I don't look for any paybacks when I get these things. It's very nice, but I get my biggest satisfaction out of doing mitzvahs and acts of kindness for people. So I live by 2 things. I live by, number 1, don't ever give up, and make every day a masterpiece, and do acts of kindness.
The best time convention to come to is actually the first one, because it's a brand new experience and you have no idea as to what to expect. And what you get out of it is just absolutely amazing. But as I've continued to go to the conventions, we always enjoy the services and and especially on Shabbat.
Well, the best memory I've always had is when I received the Man of the Year in 1999. This was a very special award that I received. And for my temple to go and give me that in 1999, going back to that time and enjoying the thing was very important. It's fun to have all my friends, have all my really relatives. Everybody really enjoyed it, and it was a great thing for me to have my Man of the Year award.
I'm sending this message with mixed feeling. When I say mixed feelings, I mean to speak about Marvin Krachik of blessed memory in past hurts. It hurts me as a rabbi, it hurts me as a human being. I'm now sitting in this Perez Chapel, which is the place where we gather every day for Minyan, and there is no way to think about Beit Torah, Ben Yehuda campus, our congregation, and the daily Minyan, and not to bring Marvin to the picture. Why I'm saying that? Because one of our pride is that for 16 years, we didn't miss one Minyan. We're talking about the city who was hit by hurricanes and by storms, and we didn't miss one Minyan. You know who was behind the strength of not missing Minyan is Marvin Krachik. Marvin Krachik was interested in ensuring that people have a place where to pray, to say Kaddish, to celebrate baby naming, and Oifruf. But he also was ahead of his time, pushing for Keiruv, that everybody fill his mouth in our day, saying we need to do Keiruv, we need to bring the people who feel left out because they marry outside the Jewish tradition, or because he said that when nobody used to say that. He was one of the beginners. So to speak about Keiruv and Minyan in Beit Torah is to speak about Marvin Krachik.
My most memorable convention experience was the 2011 convention in Costa Mesa, California. We met people from all over the world, but what really stands out and makes it the most memorable for me was meeting gentlemen from Chile, Argentina, and Mumbai, India, sitting with them and discussing how the Jewish life is in those foreign countries. It was amazing to me that they actually do have these small Jewish communities, and they were sharing their experience with me. And to me, that just stuck out in my mind. And after we sat and spoke for a little while, we exchanged kippot. So we had a little gift to give each other, and I thought that was just a great experience.
Havdalah is always one of the most beautiful parts of convention. But fireworks in Philadelphia, that was special.
what it means to be a Jewish man. To me, it is to be a son of the commandments, a bar mitzvah. And the commandments are roughly ritual and ethical. FJMC has certainly helped me in ethical ways, but in terms of ritual observance, FJMC has guided me every step of the way to higher and higher levels of participation.
When I think of what to tell a new man in my congregation about joining men's club, I tell him that he'll make new friends, he'll become a bigger part of the synagogue, he'll add meaning to his life by helping others, and he will act as a role model for his children.
Working at men's club gave me the opportunity to speak before audiences, etc. And I never joined the lecturers club as they have and things like that. That I gained from my men's club activity, particularly when I became the regional president of the New York metropolitan region in the 70s.
Probably my best men's club experience is really quite a recent one. I'm a regular participant in New England Region's retreat, formerly known as Layman's Institute. I've gone probably 10 times in the last 10 or 12 years. But this last year, for the first time, I brought my father, who's still in mourning for my mother, who passed away last year. He'd never been to anything like the retreat before. His background was such that he wasn't exposed to things like Jewish summer camp and other activities where men get together and take a great joy in Shabbat and bang on tables and have ruach, and he was so touched by this. He was it was really fabulous to see the fact that he probably had more fun that weekend than I'd seen him have in a very long time, and it was very special to him, which of course made it very special to me.
My best men's club FJMC memory or experience is not an easy one. You may recall FJMC's The Ties That Bind, a world-acclaimed educational videotape dealing with tefillin. It was my decision to produce this videotape in two versions, traditional and egalitarian. This was a first for meeting the diverse needs of the conservative movement and its synagogues during the early days of defining and implementing gender equity.
I first became involved in men's club actually when I was saying Kaddish. Like most people, somebody said to me, "You come to the shul every day, why don't you come to a brotherhood meeting?" And I said, okay, I'll give it a try. And I went to a men's club meeting. We call it Brotherhood up in Toronto. And I enjoyed the people. It was a good mix of people, and it was a lot of fun.
Well, the first word that comes to my mind when I hear men's club is connections. It's the connections with men, it's the connections with the synagogue, it's connections with the whole worldwide Judaism, and of course connections with the Jewish faith. I think that all of those things are very important and have certainly enhanced my experiences.
My most memorable experience with men's clubs is basically meeting people from around the country and Canada. Some of the people we have met in past conventions we still correspond with, we still see when we get a chance. The friendships that we've made at conventions have been terrific, and I wouldn't trade them for anything.
My involvement with the men's club and the FJMC has helped me grow as a Jewish man because it gets me into the synagogue on a regular basis.
We've developed a program some years back that I helped work on when we first started it, called Afternoon with Abba, which gets a lot of the younger guys with their children to get together and maybe go ice skating or roller skating or miniature golf and other types of sports activities for the fathers to get together with their children to have an afternoon out so that they can bond with their kids.
My most memorable convention experiences are the friends we have made, both those here today and those now of blessed memory. And most especially my wife Shelley's presentation during the installation of the 1997 convention of the FJMC President's Torah mantle, which she had crafted.
Yes, I really like to thank first my wife. I think she's really great in the years that she has done that. My children there. My father, who's 93, he was really wanted to be here with us there, but he was not able to. How much enjoyment he's got out of the men's club. Yeah, like I say, the men, the presidents from the different clubs, it's been tremendous. The international, the Western region, it's really a special time that I've had over the 40 years of my life and the time I've had with this convention.
I wouldn't be sitting here today if it weren't for the fact that my father and father-in-law and grandfather put me on the road to a Jewish life at the right time. I also want to thank my wife for her incredible support throughout all the years, a number of rabbis who have pushed me along. Rabbi Simon has been a real dogma, an example, a motivator.
Well, my best memory is, because I'm biased, is our, we worked 6 months to put our Boys Down Out program together. And that night, when I see 300 men there, to be there for camaraderie and have a good meal and a good entertainer, and just all of us being together is very special. And there's so many people that look forward to this every year because they forget about all their headaches of the day. They come, eat and drink, or drink and eat, and see a good show. And it gives me great satisfaction, and I get very excited. It's a great high for me when this happens.
A few years ago, our men's club took the Yellow Candle program, which had been losing momentum, if you will, and reinvented it and turned it into an occasion where we created dialogue with one of the local Catholic churches, and that's a dialogue that's continuing, by the way, and really showed what the club can do if it sets its mind to a project. We did it without help from the synagogue. We pulled all the resources together, raised the funds, and made it happen. And as a result, the synagogue now has something that enhances it and enhances its value in the eyes of prospective members.
I would say the Worldwide Rep is a program, to me, most exemplifies what the FJMC can do for us. First of all, it shows how a program can start at a local level and be distributed more broadly and eventually becoming an international program. And it shows what we can all gain, others can gain from the FJMC.
I want to let the younger men of this know that the best ideas in the Federation do not come from the executive committee, do not come from the top people or past presidents. They come from the average guy who comes to a convention and is involved with his men's club, and as he advances, he's involved with his region.
Well, this year I've been the co-chair of this convention, and which in 2015 I will be the chair of the convention. And I'm really looking forward to building on the record turnout that we've had for this convention and working with many of you to put together a convention in 2015 that is going to be this convention and all the more.